As I announced a couple of weeks back, live broadcasts will soon end. I plan on posting a spiritual thought every Saturday so you have something to inspire you on the Lord's Day. With the beginning of Advent, let us consider this question. What holds us back in the spiritual life? In Difficulties in Mental Prayer, we read that the obstacle often is some obstinate refusal on their part to deny some small desire of self-love. What won't I give up for God? And so that's what we have to ask ourselves. What does God want me to give up that I will not give up? What sacrifice is God asking of me now that I'm saying, no, God? And I'm saying no to God, and I'm wondering why I'm not progressing forward in the spiritual life. Why should God help me move forward if I won't do what He wants me to do? Because the spiritual life is moving closer to God, and God's saying, well, I want you to do this to get closer to me. So I had better do it. So let us return to Difficulties in Mental Prayer. From the moment that we deliberately decide to persist in a refusal of some request we know God is making of us, that self-surrender, which is the foundation of our union with God, is destroyed. And I'm going to go a step beyond Boylan here. This is a good book if you can run across it, Difficulties in Mental Prayer. I found it very useful. Picked it up in the library book sale a couple months ago. This refusal can lead even to damnation. And unfortunately, I have seen such shipwrecks in the spiritual life during my life. They would refuse to do something, and they have gone off and into pretty despicable sins. Now, I think what Boylan's talking about in Difficulties in Mental Prayer are little things. These people are not making bigger sacrifices. But even little ones, we won't make that little sacrifice. It's little by little by little the devil takes us down. It's by venial faults, excusing those, and venial sins. Oh, it's only a venial sin. Turns into a habitual venial sin. Oh, it's still only a venial sin. Next thing you know, you're committing mortal sins. Boom, you're damned. It's that simple. It doesn't have to lead to our damnation, but there is always this risk. Let us look at St. Teresa of Avila. She received a locution, which is a direct communication from Almighty God to give up the pleasures of the parlor. And the way locution comes in, it hits you bang. You know absolutely it's from Almighty God, the way it comes into your mind. She ignored it for years. In fact, in placing the amount of time she ignored this request from God, alongside another piece of information on her spiritual life and her lack of progress therein, they appear to be the same amount of time. In other words, God asked her to give up the pleasure of the parlor. She said no, and then she flatlined. She didn't really move anywhere in the spiritual life. She may have progressed a little bit, but there was this obstacle. It wasn't until Teresa gave God what He requested that she really began on the road to become Saint Teresa. And so, no matter how long God has been asking you for something, in her case, I believe it was 17, 18 years before she answered yes. Answer yes now, because it is never too late. Where there is breath, there is life. There is hope. God is still asking. He hasn't condemned you yet. And this could be the difference between heaven and hell, or a long purgatory and a short purgatory, or between purgatory and even heaven. But do what God asks of you. This Advent, let us see what Jesus is asking from us, and then present Him with it as a present on His holy birthday. And this will make this the best Christmas of our lives. And so, let us give God what He is asking of us.